Michael B. Jordan made a big splash with his directorial debut, Creed 3. Well, if anybody makes any form of splash in the entertainment industry these days, they immediately get their own franchise. And that's essentially what's going to happen here, as MGM and Amazon want Michael B. Jordan to create a Creed verse. I'm just going, oh, that could either be very good or really stretching yourself there. Insert Creed the band joke here of like MGM wants Michael B. Jordan to take them higher or something like there. I don't know. That's a Creed song, right? That's the one Creed song everyone seems to know.
So good.
Josh, have you seen Creed 3 yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I was just clarifying.
Like, we were talking a little bit before we got on, and I was like, I really have been lacking with my in-theater viewing, and part of that's just because I'm busy and broke. But like, it's getting to that point now. Like, there's going to be something almost every single week, at least one movie coming out every single week now through the end of the summer. So like,
yep.
I'm gonna have to kick my theater viewing up.
So I was just wondering how much like spoiler barriers I need to put up for Creed 3, but even then there's not a ton of spoilers here. But while Creed 3 is not my favorite in the franchise, I think it is a very strong debut for Michael B. Jordan as a director. And I joke, but I do think he's a smart guy to lead up this franchise. He, if nothing else, has shown that he's an incredible student of film, both in terms of learning from Sylvester Stallone being on the 2 Rocky movies with him, but learning from other influences, like anime was very much an influence for Creed 3. But given the first 2 Creed movies and definitely Creed 3, I can actually see a universe here. I know some people be like, you can't have a Rocky universe without Rocky. And be like, yes, I don't really want him to die in the ring, because that's what would happen if Sylvester Stallone comes back. Like, his story is done. It was wrapped up beautifully at the end of Creed 2. We don't need more Rocky, as much as that sucks to say. But there's different avenues that we can go now. Like, do I agree with the decision to age up Creed as much as they did in between 2 and 3? I don't know if I fully agree with that, just because you jumped ahead like 7 years. So now Adonis is at the end of his career. But then again, that never stopped Rocky in 3 and 4 when he's clearly supposed to be over the hill.
Quote unquote end of career.
Yeah.
I as someone who hasn't seen Creed 3 yet, even now, like even after 2, especially after 2, I'm intrigued to see what else this boxing world holds. I would love to go do like a Victor movie and see what the events of after 2 would be great. I think there are little tiny bits and pieces that would be really interesting to see, I think, here. It would be interesting if I was gonna say if they connected to Southpaw somehow, but I'm taking that back.
Jake Gyllenhaal's too busy with he's too busy with that Roadhouse movie.
Yeah, Roadhouse. But yeah, I can absolutely see there being like, I don't like the whole idea of like a connected universe for everything, but I do like the idea of stories that all happen in like the same universe. They don't necessarily have to be connected. It just, even like, because we joked, I saw you tweeting about Universal bringing back the Dark Universe trademark, and I was like, oh no, everything doesn't need to be in a interconnected universe, guys. We can just do movies, like it's fine.
You brought up Creed 2. And as far as I know, I thought there were plans to do a Victor Drago spin-off movie, and then that's when Stallone really just like jumped the shark and became a bitter, grumpy old man, and he like tweeting pictures of like headless film executives. I'm just going, okay, maybe you probably should not be attached to this franchise anymore. Victor is top of my list for if we were doing spin-offs for Creed, just because, mild spoilers here, Drago does make a quick cameo in Creed 3, and he has his own problems with Jonathan Majors' character.
Interesting.
They don't come face to face, but Jonathan Majors has an impact on Drago's career, so to speak. To which I'm just going, even before that all happened, there is an interesting B storyline here with Victor Drago that they kind of hint at actually in Creed 3. I'm just going, no. Finish that story. That's interesting to me. But even then, I was interested in a Victor Drago story after Creed 2. They did such a good job with that of going, I very much care about the Dragos, of maybe we get some more backstory of what happened to Ivan after Rocky 4, in between Rocky 4 and Creed 2. What was it like for Victor growing up as he's now going for the title at some point in his career? I think could be really, really cool because he didn't get the title against Adonis, but he's still out there, and Adonis is more or less kind of too old to pursue the belt anymore. Victor was an incredibly relatable character. Two projects that apparently have been bandied about, though, in this Creed verse, so to speak, is supposedly they're working on a Creed anime series, and I'm going, interesting. That does not surprise me in the slightest, with Michael B. Jordan always talk about how much he loves anime, which I'm going, that's so funny. You do not look like you're an anime fan, but he gets so excited about it in interviews that I'm going, good for you, man. It's just interesting because that's just a unique and iconic art style and film style that I'd be very curious to see how that translates to an American audience. And the other one that I'm just going, okay, I can get on board with the anime one. This other one's a bit of a stretch of supposedly this is just in the blue sky phase of like, it could be an idea of having his daughter Amara have her own TV series. And I'm going, cool, but she's 7. Like, if this was like teenager, I would still be a little worried that we're getting too close to Rocky 5 territory. But I'd be at least curious to see what Michael B. Jordan does with it. Creed 3 shows that Amara's got a little bit of a fight in her. Like, she will be a fighter someday. But she is 7. Does she need a spin-off movie right now? Like, there's others, like Victor's story, I think is more pressing of like, I want a Victor story. Or honestly, I'd rather have a Bianca story. I think she's an interesting character that I would really be curious to see what direction that takes.
So I got you. We're going to go with his daughter. We're going to go do a Karate Kid movie with Creed's daughter, but in the Creed verse. I got you. See, connected those dots.
And because everyone keeps asking for it, she fights the granddaughter of Clubber Lang from Rocky 3 because people, for some reason, cannot let Clubber Lang go. They're like, well, Rocky fought him, going, yeah, so? Like,
the story's only interesting if it connects back to Rocky, guys. Don't you know?
Well, Creed 2 is my favorite of the Creed movies, so maybe.
I mean, yes, but I don't think it's my favorite either, just because of Rocky's connection. I think it's all about Creed and the Dragos. Like, Rocky's cool and he's a fun little side dish in that movie, but I don't think he's the reason. The connections to him is why I enjoy it so much.
So, as a whole, I think this is an interesting idea. I'm just curious to see what Amazon and MGM want to do with this. I always keep forgetting, though, that Amazon owns MGM. Amazon, I'm sure, is just looking for franchises besides Lord of the Rings that I don't know how much actual creative control they seem to have over Lord of the Rings anymore.
Yeah.
But I love anything Rocky and Creed, so sign me up for more in this franchise. It all just depends on the quality. Can we maintain? We're 9 movies in. Can we maintain the quality? That will always be the question.